You know, when God talks about hedge of protection, right? I feel like, I feel like we pray for the hedge of protection, right? Which, if you're tapped in with the Most High, you will have that, right? But that hedge of protection is the fence. Now, when someone gets a house breaking into, usually a fence is not enough to stop somebody who's actually really motivated to initiate your downfall, to get what they desire. And we have the greatest adversary who is willing to do whatever it takes, right? Since we were born, we have an angel of the present, but then you also have a demonic angel of the present, or no, I wouldn't even call it well, yeah, I guess you would say, because a lot of the spirits, the Nephilim, where all of them have come from or derived from, were fallen angels essentially that had celestial powers that slept with terrestrial beings and brought forth the Nephilim and all of that. If you don't know that, check out your book of Enoch and argue with your mama. But you know, these spirits, even after the flood, they still remain, because in the book of Enoch it says the spirits will remain here until the day of consummation, right? Just like how it says, not one jot nor one tittle shall of the law shall pass until shall pass, or I forgot the word that they use, but basically the law is going to be here until the day of Christ's return. And as far as I'm concerned, Christ ain't here yet, because Lord knows I'm waiting on that. So basically, these spirits that remained after the flood, and the danger in that is that we're not really taught that much in the church. The last church I went to, we actually did do like casting out spirits, and like as a group, leave, 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 spirit of infirmity, leave, 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 etc., which was pretty cool. I was glad to see that, because a lot of the times, at least for me, I come across Christians who are more unlearned, and they just don't think that they're demonic spirits to be worried about, when that's exactly what an enemy would want. They would want you to believe that, oh, there's nothing to worry about. You know what I mean? You're cool. There's no demonic spirit. You'll be all right. Y'all stay safe. And when it comes to these spirits, basically, their job until the day of consummation, aka until the day of Christ's return, until the day that they are cast into hell and they're judged, they have a mission to start wars, to start strife, to breed hatred, and essentially just to make everything as chaotic as possible. So again, man, the power of reading, man, and getting into your word is so vital, because I remember growing up and I would hear people talk about, man, like, when is there going to be world peace? I remember when the World Trade Center 9/11 experience happened, and you had that song, "What's going on? What's going on?" And it was like, that song made me very emotional, but I never get too attached to, or never have gotten too attached to, anything that had to do with like a large herd of people, asking the same questions, and, coming up with the same ideologies and philosophies. And little did I know, again, it's like, God's chosen has the scriptures, the words, and the law and all of that written on their heart, to where there's a lot of positioning happening as you're going through different phases of life. But then once you get to that point where now truth is just, you're right in alignment to start receiving that beeline, that light of truth, that light beam of truth, you just receive it. You know what I mean? You just receive it, and you don't resist it, you don't fight it. It comes to you. But anyways, I feel like that was also a form of a hedge of protection, where God just never allowed me to get too immersed in things. Again, if you know me, my family's Muslim, and it's like I tried, but there was always just this disconnect. And then even when I got into the Christian churches, I was like, there's still a similar disconnect that I'm feeling, to where even in Islam, it's like the book says this, but then the person who's elected, which again, we don't even really know how this person's elected to be in the position that they're in, to be an authority, and teach. But this person is kind of rattling off their own philosophies. And then you read Colossians 2:8, and it says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, right? It also talks about how, like when there's just philosophizing happening, then it leads to vain babbling. So you got all these different scriptures that, like, now I'm realizing are the hedge of protection. So, getting into the word is going to be a hedge of protection. That's going to be the reinforced fence around the home. But then you also have to lock the doors, right? And you have to lock the doors every time you go out and come back in. And that's a daily thing, right? If you're leaving the house, you got to eat, etc. You're going to have to keep locking the door, and that's that extra layer of protection. But then it's like you also have to have the sword, and that's also getting into the word, because as you're getting into the word and you are gaining these understandings, no one can really throw you off. I was with brothers yesterday. And they were talking about how, um, again, like when you're in, well, brothers and sisters, but when we were in a Bible study, but we were going over the book of Joshua, the book of Enoch, all these things. And it's like that adversary that's trying to break into your home, whether it's, he has to hop the fence, he has to fight the guard dog, he has to kick down your door. If he's that motivated for your destruction, and if that destruction is tied into his motives, right? Maybe someone who's breaking into the house, most of the time they just want to get what they want to get for their gain. Like they'll resell whatever stuff they steal from you, and that's it. It's not necessarily to actually cause you harm, because most of the time they do it with just a weapon without any kind of ammo in it. But it's like the adversary is different, where he doesn't care about your material things. He actually cares about getting to your heart, turning your heart from God. And the first man that was tempted was God. The first bet that Satan made with God was actually in the book of Joshua with Abraham and Isaac, right? And we think Isaac was like a kid, but Isaac was 37 years old when this all happened, as far as like his dad about to stab him and he got stopped. And then of course Job, etc., etc. But nonetheless, right, the Most High is that hedge of protection. He will protect you, but you have to understand that Satan wants your heart, so he's gonna do whatever he needs to do to get to you. So you have to arm and guard yourself and protect yourself in more ways than just, oh, I'm just gonna be walking out here with the blood of Christ on me. It's like that. Not saying that that's inadequate, but there's also things that Christ says. Lay down your cloaks and your coats and get a sword, right? I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. Be vigilant, gird up your loins of your mind. Right? These are actionable steps that we need to take to make sure that we are not just out here walking naked, not believing in demonic spirits, not believing in demonic possession, not believing that, maybe the blessings that you're getting in your life right now, especially if you're not in alignment with the Most High, you're not walking in alignment with the ways of the Most High. You may be being blessed by another deity, right? And again, Satan wants you right there, where it's like, well, I listen to the prosperity gospels and they say, like, if you're blessed, and highly favored, then, that means God's hand is on your life, and you have things taken care of financially, etc., etc. But then God says the meek shall inherit the earth. God says he chastises those whom he loves. And sometimes that's difficult for me, because I'll be going through hard times, and I've been in seasons where I'm like, yo, when is this going to end? Like, when am I? That's why I said, I'm waiting for the Most High to come back, because I'm ready for New Jerusalem. I'm over this world. You know what I mean? Like, it can sound like self-deletion talk, and there was a time where like that is where my mind started going, but I always had, again, that spirit on me to where it's like, yeah, nah, because that little blip of time of suffering, if you live even 120 years here, it's like, yo, dudes in the Bible were living till 400, 500, 777 years old. So like, let's not even talk about length of suffering. But if I'm here for 130 years even, and it's all suffering, hey man, I'm gonna suffer well, right? We're given the spirit of love, hope, peace, and a sound mind, but also long suffering and forbearing, for the eternity, right? I'm not gonna make an action or decisions in this short period of time amidst my suffering, which is what Satan is, again, trying to do, trying to infiltrate your mind to make you make split second decisions that have long-term effects, that have eternity based effects, just to get a little bit of reprieve in the now, but then live the rest of eternity. Because again, we die, but our souls don't, right? So your soul will go to one place of eternity to continue to live, and it's either going to live in damnation and torment, or it's going to live in the bliss that you've been looking for. When is there going to be peace on earth? When this earth passes away, which it is. When the new Jerusalem comes down and we're in the land of milk and honey that we were promised, when we're on the roads of gold, etc., with the mansions up in heaven, like, that's when you're going to have your final Selah. You're going to be able to relax. And, again, Jacob shall rule forever, right? But for now, Esau is going to continue to try to get into your mind, and he's going to, again, be that cunning hunter that is going to find a way to break in. But when he does, is he met with the sword or not, right? Are you girded up or not? That's really what it's all about. So, yeah, man, just protect your minds, y'all. All praise to the Most High, right? Love y'all. Peace.